right. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. We have a minute or two before we start, making sure everything looks perfect for the cameras. And we're all settling in here. We have a nice group today. So happy to have you all here. Love to see some smiling eyes, especially as we're coming into maybe a snowstorm tonight today, which I woke up to that. I heard a beep on my echo and I was like, "Oh, I guess we're going to have snow today." So, it's funny how at the beginning of the season it becomes like there's going to be snow and now it's like no big deal. We're used to this now. So, it's nice to be able to kind of group together and to relax and find some deeper connection before we have to kind of get into that hustle and bustle of the rest of our day. So happy to have you all here and happy to have all of you here. So, welcome. Okay, so grab your mat, grab whatever you need to make yourself comfortable. I always suggest grabbing blocks. If you don't have any blocks, you can always use boxes. We know that we've probably been getting a lot more packages in, and boxes are really a great tool to use, especially because you can't plant all of your weight into it because a box will break. So sometimes I worked with one teacher who would do paper blocks so you couldn't put any weight into it because you would just smash it down. So it was a really interesting concept. So you might want to practice with something like that. Also, if you're here, it's a little bit different, but if you're home, grabbing any kind of pillows, a blanket, anything that you need, especially during Shavasana, just to make yourself a little bit more comfortable, grab all of those supplies and we will get started. So let's get into a comfortable position. Whether you choose to be seated or if you want to lie down on your back, just find a place where you can decompress, where you can relax. Just letting your eyes close. Maybe even giving a few sighs out from the nose, or if you're home, you can make some noise. You could even make noise here if you wanted to. And as you're settling into this position, as you're settling into this moment, just check in with yourself. Just tap into the way that you feel right now. You might notice swirling sensations, excess energy. Many times we feel the places that are the most tender first, places that are aching, that call to us. And sometimes we bypass the places that have felt at ease, that have felt calm. So I want to give you loads of permission to explore all of the parts of body, of mind, of the soul. I want to invite you to become an observer, to just step back from the attachment and to just tune into the moment. Are there places in the body that can use some gentle guidance to soften? Maybe it's the shoulders, the neck, the jaw. the lips. Sometimes we don't even realize how much tension we're holding in certain body parts until you just send all of your air and all of your awareness to that area. There's always somewhere deeper that we can soften into. Now gently bring your awareness to the breath. You might notice the breath today is high, might be low, might feel a little bit more staccato, or there might be this length. It might feel smooth. And wherever it is, maybe start to explore lengthening the breath. So we let the belly grow. We let the ribs expand. And there is this idea that the air is just circling around the heart space. And as you exhale, there is this smooth transition, maybe even a gentle pause before just letting that air release from the body. We inhale gratitude. And we exhale compassion. We inhale love. And we exhale peace. We inhale joy. And we exhale surrender. Taking and maybe even bringing a few more words to the breath that you have. Take a deep breath in. At the top, pause for just a moment and then let it go through the nose. And we'll take our time as we slowly make our way on our backs if we're not already there. So as you make your way onto your back, start to draw those knees in towards your chest, letting the knees rock from side to side a few times. And as you do this, you can let the arms be soft or you can bring your hands on top of your shins. Either way, I want you to be mindful with the choices that you make with your own body, the thoughts that come in, and how it all affects you in this moment. You might circle out the ankles. And maybe one of those words, one of those thoughts that we put to the breath, maybe it resonated with you. And when we can, we come back to that thought, inhaling joy, exhaling gratitude, and we let that be the fabric of what we weave this practice on. Maybe starting to press the legs up to the sky if you want, and you can bend and straighten the legs. Explore what it's like for there to be movement. Maybe the legs can open up wide into a straddle. And I'm one where, so I last week took a course, a workshop on hip health for runners. And this is a ultra marathoner who is just so powerful and graceful and has so much awareness with the body. And the one thing she talked about was exploring outside of the range of motion that you always take. So all of that shifting, that intuition that we have is so good. So I want you to just be that constant explorer, that the knees come in, and then drop the soles of the feet down to the mat. Let them be wide, and just drop both knees over to the right. And we're not going to pause. We're going to lift those knees back up one at a time or both together. Drop them over to the left. Inhale, lift the knees. And as you exhale, drop them over to the right. Maybe that left hip lifts up and there's a twist that comes from the lower back. Inhale, let the knees lift, and exhale over to the left. Right hip might lift. You might even tuck that hip flexor forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale over to the right. And we're going to go one more time. Let those knees lift and just tap into the way the body feels. Let it feel languid. Let it feel smooth. Let it feel good. Come back to center. And we're going to walk those feet closer in towards the glutes, finding our foundation of our bridge. We're going to find an anterior and posterior tilt. Sounds very special. It's good for our lower back, and it's good for finding that strength that we have within our pelvic floor. So I want you to first start to press the lower back into the mat, and we want to think about bringing our hips towards our ribs. So there's that tucking of the pelvis and a drawing in of our abs. And then we press that lower back or the sacrum down into the mat, and we lift, creating space between your lower back and your mat. So you're arching it. And then we eliminate the space, press that lower back into the mat as much as we can. Maybe the bottoms of the glutes lift off the mat. And then we reverse, lifting the lower back off the mat, finding that little arching sensation, little cats and cows. So the practice that we have, we're going to do it 2 more times at your own pace. The practice that we're going to have today is adding in those cats and cows to a lot of the movements that we're going to create today. We're going to get our heart rate up and we're going to bring it down, and I'm going to give you lots of things in between so that we can really pay attention to what's going on to our bodies. Now, the next time you have that lower back smushed into the mat and you're tucking the pelvis, I want you to lift your hips up to the sky. So we're finding our bridge, pressing into the heels. Where do you feel the sensations first? Maybe it feels quite easy. And if so, is that what you want to feel like today? Pressing into the heels, maybe you notice the back of the legs, so our calves, the hamstrings. Maybe there's even wiggling of the hips to notice where those sensations ride, where we can make it easier or where we can make it a little bit more connected. On your next exhale, I want you to curl through the spine, lowering down nice and slowly, releasing everything down to the ground. We're going to do it just 2 more times. So smush that lower back into the mat, tuck the pelvis, let that rolling sensation be what lifts those hips up to the sky, create space between your chin and your chest. And on your exhale, lower down, curl through the spine to release down, relaxing the glutes at the end. Last time, smush lower back into the mat, tuck the pelvis, lift the hips up to the sky. Pause here for one inhale and the exhale. One more deep breath in. And release down nice and slowly. Extend those legs to the back of your mat. Extend those arms. Circle out the wrists. Find some movement in the shoulders if that feels good for you. And then hugging those knees into the chest. Bring your hands behind the backs of the knee pits, and either we're going to rock forwards and backwards. So if that doesn't feel good for you, you might choose to do something else. Just rocking onto your side before coming up. And when it feels good for you, we can come up into our seated position. Now you can have either leg in front. We are going to switch eventually. So let those arms, when you're ready, reach up to the sky. The gaze can follow up. Maybe the eyes stay closed. As you exhale, flip the hands, drop and lower them down. Inhale, reach those arms up to the sky. Let there be stretch and space all the way through fingertips. And on your exhale, flip the hands, lower them down, maybe moving the head as you do it. Last time, inhale, reach those arms up to the sky. On your exhale, right hand lowers down. Roll the right shoulder down and back. Press into the left hip. And maybe start to lean the left shoulder back a little bit. You always have the option to bend the left elbow. Take one more deep breath in. And out. On your inhale, both arms reach up to the sky. And on your exhale, the left hand comes down and we stretch up and over to the left side. Roll the left shoulder down and back. Be compassionate with that right shoulder. Maybe it feels good to bend the elbow. Now notice what's happening in our hips. What is this relationship, this conversation that we're having with our body? And what is it saying back to us? Inhale, both arms reach up to the sky. Now on your exhale, hands are going to come to the front. So drop them right in front of the knees. And I want you to explore almost this rocking sensation. So again, this is what I mean about coloring outside of the lines. Let your body express what it wants to express. And maybe it wants to express something else. And I really want you to listen to that call. And you can make your way to any place that feels comfortable. We might pause. So if you find a place that feels good for a stretch, you can always extend a leg if you want, if you need to release any of it, or sit on a block. If you find a place that feels good to stretch into, we might notice the little battles that we have with ourselves, and we all have them. This push and pull, this give and take. Take a deep breath in and out. Slowly and with tons of compassion, start to walk your hands back, and I want you to slither your way out of it. We'll come on up. We'll cross to the opposite side with our legs. And we're going to do the same thing just to see what it feels like on this side. I know I'm a creature of habit, so it's good for me to switch it. So I assume it's good for all of us to switch those habits. So again, just letting that body settle. Notice the sensation from within the hips. Maybe it feels different than the other side, or maybe it feels the same. Either way, we're now open to the idea of possibility. We're just going to take one breath when you settle. And we'll slowly start to walk those hands back and just letting that body slink out of it. Take and lift the shoulders up to the ears, roll them back. Now let's add in our elbows. Elbows lift, circle them back. Hands are going to go up for the ride too because it's fun. Circle them back. Again, just the shoulders. Inhale, lift them up. Circle them back. Add elbows. Add the whole hand. Reach up. Take and bring your hands forward. Roll over the shins. Come into your tabletop position. As we come into tabletop, we have a stacking, wrists, shoulders, knees, hips, and you can tent, fist, or two high fives, bring them on down to the ground. I want you to move really slowly in these cats and cows because this is something we do all the time. I want you to move as slowly as you can. So first, let the tailbone lift. Notice when you let the tailbone lift, the belly lowers. Once that belly lowers, roll the chest forward. Front of the arms face the front of the mat. Gaze might go forward. As you exhale, first tuck the pelvis. So keep that gaze forward or down. And then roll into the spine, chin to chest. Move as if you have no care in the world. So you lift the tailbone, belly lowers, chest broadens, gazing forward and exhaling. So the hard part of this, we're going to go about 4 more times, is that we know what the end of the pose is. Tailbone lifted, chest broadened, tailbone tucked, chin tucked. So because we know the beginning and the end, sometimes we miss out on that transition because we're so racing to the other side. Give yourself maybe one more time to roll into the spine. And once you're in your cat position, keep that back pressed up to the sky and just shift your hips forwards and backwards. Notice if you can get some more opening in the lower back, shoulders, what happens when you press those hips back to your heels. And then when you're ready, we'll let those hips press all the way back to heels, coming into child's pose. So again, our bodies were meant to move. So as you lower the head down towards the mat, maybe there's shifting that happens within the hips. Maybe there's a rocking that happens within the forehead. I want you to tune out the rest of the world. This is a dance. This is our prayer to ourself. So see if some gentle movement that slows our nervous system down, that rocking sensation, let it cradle you. See if during this practice we can fall in love with ourselves over and over and over again. Notice how the breath fills the lungs in this position. On your next inhale, we're going to press ourselves up into our tabletop position. And we're going to step that right foot to the back of the mat. And then we're going to lift it up at hip height. Now, once you lifted that foot up at hip height, tuck the pelvis. Maybe the leg lowers a little, and that's okay. That's okay. Find a lot of power within that right leg. And then when you're ready, maybe starting to play around with lifting the left hand to the front of your mat. What happens to the body when we're only in this kind of mixed posture where we have balance from right side to left side? What happens in our back and our torso? What happens in our core? Take a deep breath in and out. Inhale. Exhale, release the hand and knee down. We're going to do it to the other side. So again, find that perfect posture. Step left foot to the back of the mat. Keep the core tight, tuck of the pelvis. So as you lift that left leg up, we're maintaining that kind of hugging in sensation from the belly. The lower back isn't just dumping down, and we're lifting up from the right hip. When you are ready, let that right arm fly. Now, this is an option. Do you have to do it? Shake your head no. No. This is a choice that we're making today. See if you can push the ground away with the left hand, push the ground away with the right knee. So we're coming up and out of our joints, using muscles to secure this position. Take a deep breath in and out. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release it down. Right knee, left hand. Now we're moving. Lift, inhale. Right leg, left hand. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, left knee, right arm lift. And exhale to lower. So now as we're moving through these two positions, can you still maintain that core awareness? Maybe lift the corners of your mouth and think about this. There's no such thing as a move that's too easy. If anything feels very accessible, is my word, that means we have more core strength we can add in. Right leg, left arm, release down, switch lifting, and releasing down. Keeping both hands and knees on the ground. Open up those knees. Start to circle out the hips. Maybe there's a lot of movement in the neck, the head, the shoulders. Maybe it feels good to rock in the hips or to find some presses forwards and backwards. We listen to the intuition from our bodies, that guidance that says move, that guidance that says still, the guidance that says be. And that's what I'm asking you to do, just be. Coming in, if you haven't gone in the opposite direction, try that for a few more breaths. And then coming into center, we're going to tuck those toes and we're going to start to lift those knees up, coming into your downward facing dog. As you pedal through the feet, maybe you start to walk the feet away from each other on the wide sides of the mat. Maybe it feels really good for you, shaking out the chest, wiggling the hips, letting the heels drop from right to left a few times. Just kind of shaking out what needs to be shaken out, getting some breath, blood flow, awareness into those places that maybe we've forgotten about. Give yourself just 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath. And then we're going to bend those knees, look forward, walk, hop, or step your feet to the front of your mat. Coming into your forward fold, elbows to thighs. You can bend and straighten those legs as much as you feel like. You can come into ragdoll, rocking the torso side to side. The options are there for you to explore if you want. Take 1 more deep breath in and out. Bending those knees, inhale, we'll roll up to standing. Circle, sweep those arms up to the sky. And exhale, hands will come to our heart space. Inhale, bend those knees, circle them up to the sky, reach up tall. And exhale, open up to the right. So the legs stay straight, just twisting open, seeing what that feels like. Now take the right hand, lower it down to the hip. Turn to the front, reach arms up to the sky, maybe a little baby back bend. Exhale, twist open to the left. Press left hip forward a little. Left hand goes to hip, forward, inhale, up to the sky. Exhale, twist open to the right. Ta-da! Drop right hand down. Come on up, and exhale over to the left. Lower it down, reach up to the sky, and then exhale, find your chair. Bring your hands down to the thighs, lift tailbone, open up the heart space, let the heart press forward. Don't be afraid of your own voice. Exhale, round the back, tuck. Inhale, lift tailbone, open up the chest, and exhale to round. Inhale, stand up tall, circle sweep, arms up to the sky. Exhale, sink into your chair. So the first thing we're going to do, arms sweep back. Look at your side. Look at that right mirror, if you have a mirror. Notice what's happening in that lower back. Can you neutralize lower back? So we're not sticking out our butt like we did in those posterior anterior tilts. We're flattening it. The arms sweep back. Now we're going to stand up tall, sweep the arms up, squeeze those quads, and then we're going to sink down into our chair, arms sweep back. And then we're going to stand up tall, squeeze the quads, broaden the chest, sink down. Now the third time we come up, option, you come up, you lift the heels. And then we sink right down, land softly. So stand up tall, keep the heels down, back, lift those arms up, stand up tall. Now, option. For that last one, you can hop or heel lift. Yeah, land down softly. So we're going to go just a wee bit faster. Stand. 2 stands and either heel lift, stand. Last one, heel lift or pop it up. Land softly. How do you land? Stand tall. Back. Stand tall. Be proud. Last one, heel lift or hop. Land softly. Stand tall. I like jumping, but it's not in the cards for everyone. So we hop or heel lift. Land softly. I hardly heard that one. That was nice. Stand tall. Hop, heel lift. Ooh. Yeah, stand tall. Stand tall. Hop, heel lift. Stand tall. We land with soft knees, pressing those hips back. Getting that heart rate up. Heel lift or hop. Yeah. Stand tall. Last one. Stand tall. Own it. Heel lift, hop. Come into center. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. One more deep breath in. And let it go. Inhale, take those arms, reach them up to the sky. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Slide your hands to your shins. Come into your halfway lift. And as you exhale, release hands to the ground. Beautiful. We're going to step our left foot to the back of the mat. So as you step that left foot to the back of your mat, maybe you grab those blocks, drop those hips down, and then drop that left knee down, relax the top of the foot. So now those blocks can move, or hands can be on the ground, it's all good. And we're going to find cats and cows from here. So press the hips forward, let the chest open, see if that feels all right for you. On your exhale, press the hip back, straightening the right leg, roll into it. Inhale, shift forward, hips press forward, chest might open. And exhale. So even if it's little mini cats and cows here, I want you to notice the flow. We're going to do it just a few more times, rolling and pressing back. And just breathing. Now the next time, with no race, no rush, you have your hips forward and that right knee bent. We're just going to pause here for a second. Now we're coming up, so if you find yourself just sagging so deeply into your joints, I want to encourage you to lift up just a little bit higher. So we use the muscles and we find our own balance of that kind of tension versus just sinking down. Maybe you tuck that left hip flexor forward, find a bigger stretch. You can always ease off of it by pressing your chest forward a little bit. Now come up maybe an inch. Left hand is going to reach up to the sky and the right hand stays on the thigh. Now tip over to the right side. As you do this, you should feel the whole outside of the left shoulder starting to splay open. You can tuck that left hip flexor forward a little bit more. See if that feels okay for you. Deep breath in and out. Now on your inhale, let the left hand come up, and we're going to drop it down inside of the right foot, either on a block or straight down. Both options are perfect. And then we're going to start to spiral the right arm up to the sky. Yeah, if you want to circle, you can circle. You can stabilize. So we're going to come off of the left knee by tucking the left toes and lifting the knee off of the mat, still staying in our revolved position. Squeeze front leg and back leg in towards each other. Now lift the corners of your mouth. Look at this time you get to spend with you. It's amazing. Take one more breath. And on your exhale, release the right hand down. We're going to step that left foot forward, releasing into your forward fold. Take a deep breath in and out. Notice how the legs feel different here. Bend those knees. Roll up to standing. Circle sweep arms up to the sky. And exhale. Hands come to our heart space. Bend those knees. Inhale, reach up tall. And exhale, hinge down through the center. Find your forward fold. Slide your hands to your shins. Halfway lift, flatten the back. Press that chest forward. Exhale, release down. Inhale, right foot steps to the back of your mat. Now you could fold that mat over if you need some support. As you drop the right knee down, maybe grab those blocks. So we're working on our low lunge with our half split, with maybe mini cats and cows in here. So as you press the right hip forward, open up the chest. As you exhale, straighten the front leg and roll over the left thigh. Inhale, coming forward, broadening the chest. And exhaling, press back, fold over the left thigh. And just finding two or three more. And knowing that your feet are never stuck in concrete, right? So we can move and adjust as it feels right for us and for our bodies. Now the next time those hips come forward, we're going to pause here, let the chest lift up. If you are using blocks, are they your only lifeline? See if you can come up and out. Now, maybe coming up an inch so we're not dumping down into our joints, but maintaining this squeezing in position. Now come up a little bit more. Left hand on the left thigh. Right hand, inhale, sweeps up towards the ceiling. And then on your exhale, just tip over to the left side. Notice the balance that comes here, right? The body wiggles. Sometimes we shy away from a wiggle. No way. We're going to go, that's where I'm building strength. How cool is that? That's strength in action. How cool. It's our perspective. Inhale, come on up. Now bring the right hand down, either on a block, straight down to the mat, and then spiral the left arm up to the sky. And if you were circling, circle. If you weren't, maybe try. It's like a 3-bite rule. We try, see if we like it. Maybe we don't. But each day it's going to be different, so we try again, and we try again, we try again. All right, next time you have that left arm up to the sky, tuck the right toes, lift the knee off of the mat. Take a deep breath in right here, and out. One more deep breath in. And on your exhale, release the left hand down. Now, lift your hips up a little bit, bend into the right knee, and push, power it forward to step forward. Bend those knees, inhale, rolling up to standing. Circle sweep arms up to the sky. And exhale, hands come to our heart space. Inhale, bend those knees, reach them up tall. On your exhale, step left foot back behind the right. Release right hand down. And we're just tipping over to the right side. And you can keep that back heel lifted or drop it down for balance. It's all good. Inhale, come back up to center. Step left foot forward, right foot back. Just a little dance. Inhale, come back up. This time, open up arms to a T. As you exhale, right hand crosses on top of left. Hug and tuck chin to chest. Maybe we haven't gotten one of these hugs in a long time. Inhale, open it up. And then exhale, cross left hand on top of right. Hug into it. Inhale, open. Exhale, release hands down. Inhale, hands to chest. Exhale, press them down. Inhale, hands lift, palms up. And exhale, settle it down. Inhale, arms rise up. Palms together. Exhale, sink into your chair. All right. We're going to add a little march, because why not? Shifting the weight to the right foot. Inhale, we're going to take that left knee, lift it up. And then exhale, plant it down, sinking into our chair. Inhale, right knee lifts. And exhale, plant it down. So we're working with a slower speed. I want you to imagine that you are going through water, the resistance of water. I always forget how nurturing and supportive water can be until I'm in it and I'm like, I float. I float. Now, the next time you have that left knee up, keep it there. Now, bring your hands on top of the thigh. Now, push the thigh into the hands into the thigh. What's happening with that right leg? Maybe bend the knee a little bit. Push a little bit more with that left. Take a deep breath in and out. Now, release hands, step left foot back, lunge. Land softly, sweep arms up to the sky. Pausing here, you might want to bend that left knee and tuck the left hip flexor forward. Pray tell, are the right toes hanging on for dear life? Relax them. Take a deep breath in, relax the shoulders, but stay active within those fingers. Now, are you ready? We're going to sweep forward, airplane, warrior 3. Right foot takes the weight. Left leg lifts, just like that beginning practice. Take a deep breath in right here. Pause. Where does your focus go? Focus with our eyes. And sometimes our eyes are open and our focus is elsewhere. I know it. Take one more deep breath in right here. And on your exhale, knee into chest, left knee, hands to the front of the thigh. Yes. We're going to step left foot back, lunge, open up the arms. Inhale. Exhale, airplane, hinge forward. Lift that left leg up. Right ankle is like, thank you. Thank you for focusing on me. We're going to open up warrior 2. Let that left hip open, place it back, sweep those arms open. You might want to straighten the right leg a few times. Just bend and straighten, see what that feels like. You might even want the torso, I'll do it to the side, to hinge forwards and backwards a bunch of times. Sometimes we have to notice where we go before we Goldilocks it into the place that feels just right. So settle into your place. Roll the shoulders down and back. Focus on your breath. Right hand, lift it up to the sky. Relax shoulders away from ears. Rebend that right knee if you lost it. Again, this becomes our intimate relationship that we have with self. What is our body doing? Is it a choice? Inhale, come back, warrior two. Exhale, right elbow down, left arm sweeps forward. Relax that left shoulder away. Breathe. Let the breath cradle any of the tightness that you feel. Now push into the feet. Tuck your pelvis a lot. Use the left obliques. That's the side waist. On your inhale, use those muscles. Come on up. Now straighten the right leg and dial toes to the left side of your mat. Let the palms open up. Find this chest pressing forward. We yearn for more. That's why we're here. Exhale, hinge forward. Shake out the head, yes and no. Give yourself a moment of breath. On every level, we are open. Maybe what brought you here today is a stretch, a strengthening. Maybe what brought you here today is this journey inwards. Whatever it is, the first step is the beginning of the journey. And it unfolds as we create our own path. Give yourself one more breath. And out. Now, toe heel the feet together once or twice. Bend the knees. And we'll roll up to standing. We're going to bring that right foot over to the left. So we should be towards the back of our mat. Yeah, I had to think about that for a second. Okay, now we're going to sink down into a squat, into our chair, a little bit different. Legs are close together, right? Option number one, stand up tall, lift, sink down. I'll go into option two when we open. Right foot opens really wide, and then left foot. Heel lift or jump shot. Open it up together, heel lift or jump shot. Now use those arms to propel you, whether you're standing up tall or whether you're hopping. This opening is so good. This is us getting into a car, and I know that sounds pretty silly, but we don't do a lot of what's called a lateral motion. The heart, my favorite muscle. We're going to do it one more time, each side. Back open to the left, and then open wide. Heels in, toes open. How we doing? Sink down into your goddess. Is the heart rate up? Yeah? Breathe. Deep breath in and out. One more deep breath in and out. Pause here. Rock side to side just a little bit. Sometimes the movement is like, yes, thank you. And then we'll press to come up, toes to the front. Now, look forward, step left foot to meet the right. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, chair. Now this time, right knee lifts, arms sweep up. And plant it down, sink down. Left knee lifts, inhale. And exhale down. I always imagine I'm like a puppeteer. I'm like, lift up knee. But when you focus on the lifting of the knee, balance all of a sudden is like, no big deal. Because we're focusing on the movement of the leg rather than the stability of the anchored leg. Maybe it's just me. One more time per side. We lift right. We lift left. And then we're going to lift right again. Hands to the front of the thigh. Push down. Push. Push up. Push down and push up. Breathe. Lift the corners of your mouth. This is you time. Okay. Are you ready? Right foot. Softly planted back lunge. Arms sweep up. Notice the placement of your body. What's happening in our shoulders? Our bicep and ears, best friends. Can the shoulders relax? Can you still find expression all the way to fingertips? We learn about self-control. Now bend that right knee and press the right hip flexor forward. You can lean back slightly, see if that feels good for you. If not, don't do it. Choices. We're going to shift forward into our warrior three or airplane. So ground down into that left foot. Draw those abs in. Lift right leg up behind you. See if you can neutralize the hips. Bend the left knee a little bit more. Take one more breath. Relax the left toes. Knee comes into chest. Hands to the top of the thigh. Push. Both directions. Core activation from standing. You are welcome. Step back, lunge, inhale. Arms sweep up. Exhale. Warrior three, airplane. Lift it up. Relax the left toes. We're going to make our way into our warrior two. Lift the right hip. Step it back. Sweep those arms open. You might choose to bend and straight the left knee. Straighten the left knee. Now, tip forwards and backwards. Yeah, notice all of this array of sensation from the obliques, the hips. Our body is a sponge. This whole body are filled with sensors. Relax those shoulders down and back. Sometimes we ignore those sensors. Today I'm saying, kick them on. Take that left hand, reach it up to the sky. Now rebend that left knee if you lost it. Maybe the option is no thanks, and that's okay. Take a deep breath into any of the tightness that you feel. Now come on back nice and slowly. Inhale, exhale to extended side angle. Left arm goes down. Right arm sweeps forward or up. Dealer's choice. Give yourself one more breath. What's happening in your feet? Press into the feet. Push into those thighs. On your inhale, use those obliques. Torso comes up. Now straighten the left leg. Dial toes to the front. All right. Open up the arms. 5-pointed star. Because you are all the brightness in my darkness. Hinge forward. As you find your wide-legged forward fold, maybe you start to increase some side lunges. So bending the right knee, bending the left knee, even hinging forwards and backwards a few times. Shaking out the head, yes and no. Just experimenting with it all. Is there tension in the jaw, the shoulders? Give yourself just 2 more breaths. Slow that nervous system down. And when you're ready, as you're ready, we're going to start to bend those knees and toe heel the feet together to the center of your mat. Feet nice and close together. And we'll roll up to a standing position. Pausing here for just a moment. Take a deep breath in and out. Okay. This one I'm going to do in levels. So you're going to anchor into the right foot. Anchor into the left foot. Right foot opens up. Right hand touches down in the direction of the base leg. So that's our left leg. And then we just tap it in. Yeah, right foot comes in. And then left foot goes out. Left hand comes down. And then we just bring it in. Tap it out. Right. Bring it in. And left. This kind of reminds me of like, start spreading the news. Bum, ba-da-dum. New York, New York. So you could stay here, just letting it be a tap out. Or if you wanted something a little bit more, you can add a little hop. And you hop your feet together. It's a shuffle. And it just depends. Do you want that heart rate up? For me, recently, the answer has been yes, a little. And that's what we're going to do for the next 30 seconds. So you take it at your own pace. This is about you. This is about your heart rate. This is about you moving. Whether it's fast or whether it's slow, guess what? It really doesn't matter. You have your last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come into center. Right? One more breath. And out. Toe heel your feet open. Those are the words. Toes open, heels in, sink down into your goddess pose. As you come into your goddess pose, maybe shift. Again, I'm a shifter. Feels good. Explore. Maybe even move the neck, the head, the shoulders. Just to own our own bodies. Just to think about them differently. It brought us here today. This body will continue you into the future. We love it. Take one more deep breath in and out. Slowly press to come up, all toes to the front of your mat. Now, bring that right foot forward, meet the left. Circle sweep arms up to the sky. Exhale, hinge forward. Rolling over the thighs, forward fold. Hands to shins, halfway lift. And exhale to release down. Feet to the back of your mat. Come into your plank. What? Is this our first plank of the day? Crazy, crazy. Push the hands into the ground. Now slowly bring the right knee into the chest. And then step it back. Left knee into the chest. Step it back. Right knee in. Step it back. Left knee in. Step it back. Now stay at that speed or go faster. Go faster for 30 seconds. Or be still, right? Shake your head. You have only but options. What do you choose for you? You're halfway through. Maybe slow down, maybe speed up. Whatever it is, all you have are 5 more seconds. So breathe. 2, 1, come into center. Release the right knee down. Let the left heel open. Find a modified side plank right here. You can let the right foot go open if you need a little bit more of a kickstand, and stretch the left hand to the front of your mat. Slowly, at your own pace, release left hand down, step right foot back, and then left knee down. Drop open right heel to the left side, and lift right arm up to the sky. Maybe even extending it to the front of your mat feels pretty good, or maybe it doesn't for today. Inhale and exhale, release. Stepping left foot to the back of your mat. Now, on knees or not, dealer's choice. Exhale, come on down to the ground. Yeah. So you can tip your head over to one side. Relax the hands by your sides. Maybe even bending the knees, windshield wiping feet side to side. Feel that roll over the quads. It can feel nice. We hold a lot of tension there. And then let your head go to the other side. Give yourself equal opportunity to stretch that neck. Still windshield wipering feet side to side. And then when you're ready, bring your left hand to the center of your mat and drop your forehead down on top of the left hand, back of the hand, or the back of the arm. The forearm can have a little bit more cushioning. You're going to keep that right knee bent and use the right hand to grab onto the foot, the pant leg, a sock. You can always use a strap or a towel if you find that the connection just isn't there for today. We make the connection. And then I want you to think about pressing the right hip flexor down into your mat. I want you to relax the jaw. Maybe there's a little tuck of the pelvis. The more you press and tuck that pelvis, the more opening you're going to get in your quad. But we only start to realize that when we start to adjust and shift. So if something doesn't feel right, we advocate. Give yourself one more breath. And out. Releasing the right foot. The right hand can go underneath the head. Bend that left knee and use the left hand to grab onto the foot. And again, in our back can affect what's happening in our leg. So we shift, we move, we wiggle, we gyrate. And maybe more blossoms open within the thigh. How does the breath change? Think about lengthening knee away from the hip. Take one more deep breath in. Let it fill this tension of the stretch. And slowly release. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, palms down. I want you to press your pubic bone down into the mat. Squeeze your quads so the knees come off of the mat. Shoelace part of your feet pressing down deeply into the mat. And then lift the head and shoulders off the mat. The more you can squeeze those glutes, the happier your body can become because we're strengthening our back. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Take another deep breath in. And exhale, release down. This time, your hands can come by your sides, palms down. As you anchor those hips down, you might encourage the chest and the arms to come up. You might encourage the legs to lift up. Notice where we go when we're here. It's like we're just about to dive into water. This freedom with our body. Take one more breath. And then exhale to release down. Hands can go underneath the head, bend the knees, windshield wiper feet side to side. Extending those legs, hands go underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up, tabletop, circle, or cats and cows. You can even bring those knees forward and drop down into a low squat. It might feel quite nice for the opening of hips, and you can play around with even shifting forwards and backwards, letting heels lift. This is just your time before we settle down onto our backs. If there's anything else you want to explore from a standing position, you have a breath to do that now. And then we'll slowly release our hips down, extending our left leg. The right knee is going to bend. So before we twist, and you can bring that right foot to the inside of the left leg or cross it over. It's totally dealer's choice. But before we even settle this left hand, let the right hand go behind your back. Let that first be the first thing, right hand behind your back. Now, left hand might automatically just hug in to the right knee, or you might even play around with bringing it, the left arm in front of the right knee. Either way, we're getting a twist. So I want you to lift up through the crown of the head as you twist. Find length within your spine. Maybe press that chest to the right side. Soften the jaw. Maybe you look at yourself for a second if you have a mirror, and you look at yourself with the most compassion that you can have. Maybe every breath we take is a thank you. Thank you for bringing me on this journey. Take one more deep breath in. And out. We'll slowly bring ourselves forward, extending right leg, and then left knee can bend. Again, dealer's choice. What side do you want to bring it to? Left hand, bring it back first. Yeah. And then maybe right hand just grabbed on and it was like, yeah, this is where I want to go. Or maybe you bring it in front. Either way, notice what happens to that right shoulder. Is it going to a place of comfort or going to a place of pain? And we always want it to a place where there's exploration. Maybe that exploration is pulling yourself back, that place that goes, ego pushes me forward. Union pulls me back and says, hey, let's try again. We're just defining this relationship we have. One more breath. And out. Now unwind the body. If you are here in class right now, I'm going to turn you so that you're facing reverse. And we're going to slowly release our backs down towards the mat. As you release back to the mat, hug those knees into the chest. Give them a squeeze. Let them rock side to side. We're just going to do a quick hip opener. We've done a lot with hips, so we're just going to do it for a quick one. Left foot on the ground, right ankle crosses. Left foot, bend the knee. Yeah, right ankle crosses. Right away, hug those legs into the chest. Hug them in, rock side to side. Give yourself a breath or two right here. Again, letting those wiggles feel good. Letting the wiggles feel nurturing. Releasing the left foot down to the ground. We'll switch. Left ankle will cross on top of the right thigh. Right away, hug those legs into the chest, rock. That rocking sensation always feels pretty good for the lower back, for the hip, for the glutes. But notice if the jaw is tense, relax it. Take one more deep breath in. And slowly relax it down. You can hug both knees into the chest. Maybe you're exploring, straddle, kicking the legs up. Maybe you're finding happy baby. You're going to take just 2 breaths. Then when you're ready, bring the soles of the feet to the mat, wide sides. We open with this and we're going to close. Let the knees drop open towards the right side. Let them lift up and drop them over to the left. One more time, lift, drop them over to the right. Soften the body. And lift. Drop them over to the left. Soften the body. And then slowly let the knees lift. Give them maybe a final squeeze into the chest before letting your body release into your Shavasana. Notice as you find your Shavasana, so often our body, even though the ground is right underneath us, the body still holds. So what are you holding on to? Maybe you allow for the palms to face up towards the sky, letting the toes just drop open to the wide sides of your mat. Connecting into the whole back line of the body, places that make contact with the mat. Each layer softens. Each layer softens. Emerging from the darkness of the tent into the shimmering starlight, we stand transfixed and speechless. Even the crickets are quiet before this spectacle. Orion reclines on the horizon, and nameless constellations in plenty march across the sky. Shooting stars disappear before the eye can turn to finally and fully see them. In the cool night air, pungent with pine, there is only dark and stars, the countless stars, the shocking breadth and depth and stillness of stars. We inhale stars and we exhale stars, a whirling galaxy of stars, until the night hawk calls us home. Grayson Highlands by Donna Falls. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om. Just imagine yourself on the floor, your body, and take a deep breath in and out. Take some time to just reconnect or stay still if you choose. And you can just gingerly roll over when you're ready onto one side or the other. To come into a fetal position if you choose to. And then using that top hand to press yourself up to seated. Hands can come into prayer position, Anjali Mudra, with a gentle bowing of our chin. We inhale love. And we exhale compassion. We inhale joy. And we exhale gratitude. May we find gratitude for the journey, for the process, for the steps, for the mountains we climb and the hills that we can slide down. May we find appreciation for the moment. May we always find pause and consideration. Thank you so much for joining me here today, for taking a walk on the wild side, doing some different things. Thank you for being you and sharing yourself here with me. I hope the practice resonated with you, and I look forward to practicing with you again. All that I am bows to all that is within you. Namaste.